Hey, I'm RejectedShotgun. So, a hero that a lot of people have been speculating about in Overwatch for a very long time now is actually Athena, or more specifically, this robot right here. Now, everyone has kind of assumed that this robot is Athena because there is the A logo on her head that we can see on all of the Athena computers throughout Overwatch. Well, it turns out that far back in the development of Overwatch, this may not have been Athena at all, but its very own hero that goes by the name of Iris. And today, we've got some interesting abilities and lore possibilities with this hero with the newly released BlizzCon information. So today, let's talk about it. So at BlizzCon, there were a whole bunch of panels delving into the backstory of Overwatch and the history and even concepts of old heroes and things like that. One of the most interesting things that stuck out to me personally was the fact that when Blizzard was showing off all of the old hero concepts from back in 2014-ish, that they showed off Athena, or who we assumed has been Athena all this time. Now, this robot here that I showed in the intro has always been assumed to be Athena because the connection between the A on the Athena computers and the A on this hero's head here are very similar. And it's definitely possible that from the time that this character was created and the time up until now that the Overwatch team perhaps decided that this hero is Athena. However, back in 2014, that was not the case at all. In fact, this hero goes by the name Iris. So Iris did not look exactly how we see the final version today. Iris was in fact slightly different and, to be honest, reminds me a little bit of Symmetra in the design of her head specifically. So as you can see here, Iris is kind of different from how we see her in game. There's this kind of blue clear visor that goes all the way around her head, and besides that she is pretty similar, but we can see there are some ability names here next to Iris. So it says Particle Beam, Speed Boost, and Shield, which is very interesting. These three abilities together kind of seem like a mixture between a support hero and a tank hero. So a particle beam being the main ability, that does sound a little bit like Symmetra. She has a kind of particle beam, if you will, that latches onto enemies. And I think that's kind of interesting, but it is pretty clear that some of these abilities have been used in Overwatch now in other heroes. So that's just one thing to point out there. Speed Boost, that's something that Lucio now has, but Iris, back when this was created, had this ability, which is pretty fascinating, but I imagine this is not a healing hero, so the Speed Boost would be exclusive from healing. Then the last thing that Iris has is a shield. Now, they don't go into specifics on this shield, but it's safe to assume it's probably something like an Orisa shield or a Rein shield, rather than like a Winston bubble, but there's no really way to know that to be sure. But it's interesting to note that this Athena, or Iris, may have been a kind of tank hero back when Overwatch was still being developed. Of course, now this hero was never released, or it hasn't been released yet, but it is very interesting to see that this hero that has been speculated about for so long does have a name after all and has a kind of interesting ability set that has never been used so far. Now, it is important to keep in mind that this is a really old image of concept art here. Most of the stuff from this concept art has been completely changed or has been removed altogether. We can see there are a few heroes here that look very similar to their actual Overwatch counterparts, like Torbjorn, for example, or Mercy. Both of those characters in this image have not really changed at all. However, we see characters like Symmetra on the right side, who is slightly different from the appearance we see here. A lot of these heroes are actually used in game and have different appearances, but one of the heroes who has not been used at all from here is Iris, or Athena. Now, I know in the past that the Blizzard developers have said they're not against the idea of adding Athena in-game as a playable hero. Me personally, I think it might be a little weird since she is the announcer, but it definitely could be done. Her ability set seems really interesting, and I do really love the design of this character. I don't know if Iris is the old name and if Athena is the new name, but that might be kind of how her character has evolved as time has gone on. In my opinion, I think this is now Athena, but it is interesting to see where the origins of this character have actually come from, and to see how her design over time has changed. To be honest, the design hasn't changed a whole lot, since we actually do have a couple of Athena models of this character in the game, albeit they're like half broken and they're on Temple of Anubis, but really the design for this character hasn't changed a lot, even in the multiple years since this design was created. So that kind of tells me that Blizzard is very happy with the design of this character, and that perhaps one day this character might come in game, and if they do, they probably won't change the design of the character very much at all, because that character really does fit with the style of Overwatch. Unfortunately, Blizzard didn't go explicitly into crazy detail about Iris or Athena here. However, I was just so excited that we actually got some more info about this hero. I had to rush to make this video. It is so cool. Definitely one of my favorite character concepts that the Blizzard team has come up with. I really do hope this character gets added into the game sometime over the next year or two. That would be super exciting. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my Overwatch videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more Overwatch news just like this, be sure to watch my next videos. That's all for today though. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Like, follow, subscribe.